Why do we buy a Chanel bag versus some other designers that drops significantly after you buy the item? It's kind of the same thing. If you're someone who likes to make smart purchase decisions, listen to this story, and I would really love to know your opinion by the end of the video and to see if we're on the same page. There is another element to this, which is something that I like to call it smiles per wear. That is basically how much joy it brings you when you wear these pieces. Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on My First Luxury. Vivian here again. I really wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about making purchase decisions and also comparing two of some of the most popular bracelets from Van Cleef & Arpels. And if you guys love to see very detailed reviews, I have done detailed reviews on both of these pieces, so I'll make sure I'll link it in the description box and make sure you check those too. Today I wanted to talk about how to make a better purchase decision. By the end of the video, I hope we can both decide if one is worth purchasing more than the other. And I know a lot of us, or most of us, would love to make decisions that make sense whenever we spend money in general. So I definitely think this video could be very helpful for us. And if you have heard of the brand, you have probably seen a lot of people own this white mother of pearl vintage Alhambra bracelet with the 5 motifs in mother of pearl in the yellow gold setting. And this piece is currently priced at $3,900 US plus tax. And also I have recently added and reviewed this very special magical Alhambra 5 motifs, and this one is currently priced at $6,400 US plus tax. And I know that majority of us tend to buy this piece as the very first purchase because it's easy to wear, it's versatile, it literally goes with everything. The magical Alhambra, it tends to be kind of like the next purchase items. I wanted to present them, compare them in 3 different categories, which is practicality and cost per wear, and also value, especially the resale value of these pieces, because why do we buy a Chanel bag versus some other designers that drops significantly after you buy the item? It's kind of the same thing. So definitely, if you're someone who likes to make smart purchase decisions, listen to this story, and I would really love to know your opinion by the end of the video and to see if we're on the same page as to whether or not buying one over the other is worth more. We'll start with the 5 motif magical Alhambra in the white mother of pearl. I don't know how many times I have seen this before finally getting this piece, and I know that this is something that a lot of us really love because Van Cleef tends to carry out the most feminine design for ladies. And or if you are a man that loves jewelry, congratulations, you have really great taste as well. After purchasing this, I have really tried to wear it, and it's very easy to go with casual wear as well as like when you're dressing up. But I do think on the dress up point of view, if I have to go to an event or somewhere that needs more of a formal wear, I do find that it appears to be more ordinary. And obviously if you have other pieces of jewelry, you definitely want to stack them and wear them together. And I do find this piece a little bit more on the casual side, and clearly there are different ways to wear this. So if you have other jewelry that is more embellished or that is more statement like, you can pair this one very well with the other jewelry that you have. Because of quarantine, I didn't really get a chance to go out or to go to different events because that is just not promoted anywhere, and we just had to stay home. Since gotten this beautiful bracelet, I have not been able to go out. However, when I was filming the video and trying it on as a necklace, I loved it very much because, you know, there are 3 different sizes of the clover leaves on here, so when you're wearing it, it tends to make more statement. And also there are other elements that's been added to this. Instead of a static 5 piece that's been placed on the chain, you know, there are 2 pieces that are hanging. So you have a regular size black onyx vintage Alhambra clover leaf hanging right here, and then you have a very statement magic Alhambra size charm that's hanging toward like right in the middle of the bracelet. So when you're wearing it, you can just feel the fluidity, and also you can see it moving when you move. So this piece definitely adds a lot more layer and statement to your look. And I do think if I were to wear this to an event, it is probably going to be catching more attention. And obviously I have demonstrated how to convert this bracelet into a necklace in a different video, so make sure you check the link in the description. There is a necklace specifically that is made in the Magic Alhambra collection that is very different than this, and there are clover leaves throughout the necklace. I have been reminded Princess Kate Middleton had also worn this necklace in one of the British Awards last year, and I felt like it definitely made a very strong statement there. If you're looking for more dressed up and more statement look, the Magic Alhambra is going to be the perfect option for you. So that is the practicality point of view. Let's take a quick look at the differences between them, and they're very minor. Between so many clover leaves, what are the real differences between the two? On the base of the first clover leaf right next to the clasp is where you can find the gold hallmark and the VCA stamp. And on the Magic Alhambra, also on the base of the first charm is where you can find the identity of this bracelet. Also, just letting you guys know, I did modify the length of the vintage Alhambra because it was a little bit too big for me, so there had been 2 links removed from each link between the clovers at a total of 8. So now you can see that it had been shortened significantly to fit my wrist. And the Magic Alhambra has the original size. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the Magic Alhambra has a couple of different sizes of the clover compared to the vintage. So there is one magic size and the other 2 that is in between size of the vintage and the magic. So it's kind of a new size. And of course, at the end of the hoop, there is a gold eagle stamp. And you guys should know what it means if you watch the other videos. And both bracelets have the exact same clasps, and I even believe they're the same size. I think it's beneficial to give you guys a visual of how the bracelets fit on the wrist, so here it is. This one pretty much stays flash to my wrist, and it fits perfectly, so it doesn't even rotate around. And also you can see here that it's very thin, and it's just a very elegant piece to wear overall. And this is a shot of both bracelets worn together, and I will be addressing more issues of the Magic Alhambra later on in the video, and just take a look at them together now. I did not resize the Magic Alhambra yet, so it fits pretty large, but it gives you a very floaty look. That in terms of cost per wear, you probably are going to be wearing the vintage Alhambra a lot more than the Magic Alhambra, just because a lot of people think, you know, on the daily, this piece stays beautifully flat on your wrist versus this piece right here, which its advantage point now turned into a little bit of a weakness because the dingly charm might get in your way of running errands or talking to people. You might stand a chance of like maybe slapping people with this piece, and so the cost per wear is definitely a lot lower for this piece compared to vintage Alhambra on the daily. If you're someone who just loves to dress up or wear something that's a little bit different or to make a statement, feel free to wear this one, of course, but I am talking about more of on the daily. For example, public transportation, if you live in a different country, this piece could definitely be getting in your way. But you know, it's your lifestyle, so you definitely can find different ways to make something you love really fit into your lifestyle. However, I do think on the daily, if you're someone who is always on the go or who are always meeting a lot of people, perhaps this Magic Alhambra is a little bit too over the top for the daily use. So cost per wear, this piece definitely you won't be able to wear a lot more compared to the vintage Alhambra. This is just something that makes a statement without standing out too much, and it stays perfectly on your wrist. I would definitely place this piece over the Magic Alhambra. And if we're talking about Van Cleef or Cartier, I'd probably say Cartier is a lot more practical to wear on the daily basis compared to this piece right here. But since we're comparing the two, vintage Alhambra 5 motif is definitely a lot more practical to be worn on the daily than the Magic Alhambra. Lastly, let's talk a little bit about money, a little bit about resale value on the market, because if one day you decide that you want to exchange your bracelet to money and buy something else, you definitely want to make sure that when you're buying this piece, you know that this piece is going to hold its value relatively well compared to a different jewelry brand. So when you're ready to let go of the piece, or when you need to let go of the piece, you can still get most of your money back. In the case of jewelry, I do think certain brands definitely stand a lot more higher resale value versus other brands, and also really depending on what you buy. I do think a lot of brands tend to have that hero piece or the iconic pieces that people want to buy from their collection, so no matter when you buy it, the piece always stands a very, very good resale value. So I did obviously do some research on the internet, and if I could just look at those data over there, I do think both Alhambra bracelets tend to stand a really good resale value. For example, the vintage Alhambra is retailed at $3,900, let's just say, $4,000, and when you're ready to sell it, you're probably going to lose a couple $100 less selling it on your own. If you involve other platforms to sell for you, there's always a commission that's involved that you have to let the platform have. If we're talking about dollar amount, you don't tend to lose a lot over that. I didn't mention in the preview, there is another element to this, which is something that I like to call it smiles per wear. Can you figure out what that is? Okay, that is basically how much joy it brings you when you wear these pieces. I mean, I feel incredibly lucky that I'm able to purchase these pieces. So if you're someone who are gonna bash on that, please don't even start. I am genuinely comparing the practical facts about these two bracelets and present them to you here. For the vintage Alhambra bracelet, obviously it was one of the few early purchases that I acquired from Van Cleef & Arpels. And when I look at this, I definitely always remember why I decided to spend this much money, and also why I decided to buy this piece. So it definitely sparks joys and brings me smiles. If we can compare them on the level of 5 stars, I probably give it a 4 out of 5, because I like to really think that I earned this, and I love it when I wear it. It is a very beautiful piece. After getting this for a while, I'm like, okay, I do think maybe we could go a little bit different ways to acquire a different piece. The Magic Alhambra, when I just look at it, okay, it brings me personally a bigger smile to my face, and I just think this is something that makes a lot more statement, and I look forward to wearing this more than the vintage Alhambra. For the side note, it could be that I just haven't been able to have other opportunities to wear this because of quarantine, so maybe I just want to sport it out sometimes. Definitely smiles per wear. The Magic Alhambra also wins over the vintage Alhambra. And after comparing these many elements, I want to know your opinion, because this is one person's opinion. I would like to know the many of you who are watching this video right now, if you think differently, or if you think you're definitely gonna go for the Magic Alhambra first and then vintage Alhambra, or you already have your mind made up on which vintage Alhambra bracelet you're going to buy next. So definitely let me know. I look forward to see what you guys are going to share with me. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I look forward to seeing you guys on more videos next. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.